Hi, my name is Jim Poole. I'm the president and CEO of Solace Lifesciences, the neuroscience company that makes NuCalm. It's 2021. 2020 was a historically uncomfortable, uncertain year where we had the highest levels of fear, depression, worry, anxiety, and stress, literally in the history of humanity. A lot of reasons for it, but the outcome here is really this prolonged chronic stress response. And many of us don't understand the negative consequence of having a year like we did in 2020. So, according to research and literature, you'll see things like 90% of all diseases created by stress or 98% of all diseases created by stress. Well, how does this happen? It's pretty simple. The body needs restoration every single day, and your cell structure is all about communication. Your cells, each cell in your body, trillions of them, have a designed job and a specific outcome they need to achieve every day. When you sleep, in the sleep architecture, there's a brainwave function in sleep called theta. In theta, which is 7 hertz to 4 hertz in a certain frequency range, when your brainwave function is in theta, which is kind of lucid dreaming just above really deep sleep, but when you're in theta, some really important things are happening. Number one, your cells are cleaning their toxins and doing what's called cellular maintenance. So, cleaning all the toxins that gain or grow in your cell structure. This is when maintenance occurs. Number two, the mitochondria and ATP, which is the energy source for your cells, is restored. This is critical for longevity. It's critical for physical, emotional, psychological well being. It's critical for lifestyle. And it's critical to build your resilience and keep your immune strength high to negate disease. So, over the course of time, many of us live in a high stress, poor sleep, high stress, poor sleep, high stress, poor sleep cycle. What happens invariably is the cells don't get the opportunity to clean their toxins, the mitochondria doesn't get restored, and cells begin to break down. Thus, they lose their function, and the body, which is a closed loop ecosystem, loses its function. That's how disease proliferates. Let's think of some immunosuppressive diseases of the gut. Why do you think there's been this proliferation of irritable bowel syndrome and Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis? 50 years ago, it wasn't like that. But we are living in such a state of high stress all the time. In stress, the hormone cortisol is secreted, and that cortisol sits in our belly. So when we're stressed out, we feel nervous in our stomach, our intuition feels off, our whole body feels off, but also our diet's affected and our digestion's affected, and our pooping and our peeing cycle's affected. Well, it's because there's too much acid in our gut. And over the course of time, that imbalance impacts the microbiome of the gut and disease begins to proliferate. So, this proliferation of disease is not because we're weak or epigenetically predisposed to diseases of the gut. It's that we are living every day in a high stress environment where our body is creating these stress hormones and we're never allowed to get into that place of balance. Balance for the human being is all about balancing the autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system is comprised of the stress response and the rest response, otherwise known as the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. And unfortunately, what we see around the globe is most people living in a high stress, sympathetically driven state where we're constantly looking for adrenaline and catecholamines and cortisol to help us run through walls when we really need to take a break. That's what's happening. So the prolonged stress that we live in and the chronic stress we live in, yes, we may be able to get through today or tomorrow and next week and the week after. But over the course of time, as we age and our cells live in this constant state of hypervigilance and constant state of stress, our cells break down and disease proliferates. That's what's happening when the literature states 98% of all disease is created by stress. It's not hyperbole. It's a long-term breakdown of the cellular structure and the body's ability to take care of itself, thus the advent of disease. So the challenge here is to understand today may be a crazy day. Okay. Tomorrow may be a crazy day. Okay. I'll get through my to-do list. I'll rely on cortisol and adrenaline. But at some point, I need to build habits of relaxation, restoration, recovery to allow my body to create and maintain a high level of resiliency against disease and immune strength to fight disease. That's the key. Balancing the autonomic nervous system, ensuring that we don't live our life constantly with our foot on the accelerator and we take the opportunity to express the other side of the equation, which is rest and digest, through mindfulness practices or NuCalm, through yoga, Tai Chi, meditation, deep breathing, or NuCalm. The outcome is all the same. It's just a matter of how you want to get there and how much time you want to dedicate to taking care of yourself. But balance is the key.